The honourable member for Toronto Danforth.
Mr. Speaker, yesterday Ontario's Premier said that he couldn't have imposed the HST without the active help and involvement of the federal government. And today the Prime Minister's with Premier Campbell in British Columbia. No doubt he'll be trying to collect credit out there for having helped put a tax on just about everything from haircuts to housing. And there's no question the government has earned this credit for having helped the HST to come into being. But the question is, why? Why would they have wanted to put a tax on hard-working families in British Columbia and then go out and try and get a little bit of credit for it? It makes no sense. Would the government please explain what they're up to?
The Honourable Minister of Canadian Heritage.
Speaking about British Columbia, Mr. Speaker, this Conservative government has delivered for British Columbia.
Hear, hear.
This Conservative government has lowered taxes across the board for British Columbians. When we lowered the GST from 7 to 6, they voted against it. When we lowered it from 6 to 5, they voted against it. When we introduced pension income splitting for seniors, they voted against it. Every single time we've lowered taxes for British Columbians, the NDP have said no, Mr. Speaker. And it's no wonder. Their track record as a government in British Columbia, all they did was raise taxes on British Columbia and drive our economy into the ground. We've shown leadership by cutting taxes and standing up for BC.
Honourable member. Order. The honourable member for Toronto Danforth.
I see why the Conservative government doesn't want to attach itself to the HST. But, you know, even the Ontario Progressive Conservatives, including the wife of the finance minister, knows who to write to put a stop to it. She writes her husband and says, please put a stop to this unfair tax. I think she would know whether or not he's got the power to do that, Mr. Speaker. And, of course, these Conservatives used to be against the HST. When it hit Atlantic Canada, here's exactly what they said in this House. They called it a regressive tax that would hurt the poorest Canadians. Why are Conservatives trying to hurt the poorest Canadians now?
The Honourable Minister of Canadian Heritage.
Speaking of the power to do things, this finance minister, this Conservative government, through 4 budgets and 2 minority parliaments, has passed tax relief measure after tax relief measure to stand up and protect Canadian families, Mr. Speaker. $190 billion in tax relief over 4 budgets in order to protect Canadian families. That's what we've done. And every single step of the way, all the NDP has done is condemned this Conservative government for cutting taxes. They've condemned us for cutting taxes, and now they applaud it again, Mr. Speaker. That goes to show how faulty and how false the front is that they're putting before British Columbians. British Columbians know lower taxes means voting Conservative.
The honourable member.